You've heard the phrase before. Someone says it with a smirk. It's the oldest profession in the world. Everyone nods. Everyone assumes it's true, but it isn't. The phrase you've repeated your whole life is younger than the light bulb. And the real story of humanity's first job is far stranger than the joke you were handed. Start with the phrase itself. It feels ancient. It sounds ancient. It was written by one man in 1888. His name was Rudyard Kipling, the author of The Jungle Book. In a short story called On the City Wall, he called a woman named Lalin a member of the most ancient profession in the world. That was it. That was the birth of the phrase. It spread until almost everyone believed it, and almost no one asked the obvious question. Was it even true? A profession is specialized work, and for most of human history, there were no jobs at all. Picture your ancestors 200,000 years ago. Small bands, everyone did everything. You gathered, you hunted, you made your own tools. There was no baker because there was no bread. A job requires a surplus, enough extra food that one person can specialize while others feed them. That surplus only arrived around 12,000 years ago with farming. So what was the first specialized role? We don't know for certain, but the candidates are fascinating. The toolmaker, whose blades were sharper than anyone else's. The healer, who knew which plants save a life and which end one. And the midwife. Human birth is uniquely dangerous, our baby's head's enormous, our mother's hips narrow. Almost no other animal needs help giving birth. Humans do. For as long as there have been human mothers, there have been other women helping them survive the night. That may be a profession older than any coin. So where did the sex work version of the story come from? For that, go back to Herodotus, the Greek writer they call the father of history. In his account of Babylon, he claimed every woman there had to sit in the temple once and give herself to a stranger as a sacred duty. Historians believed him for 2,000 years. This is where the idea of sacred prostitution was born. There's just one problem. It may never have happened. A classicist named Stephanie Budden spent years examining every ancient source and argued the whole idea is largely a myth. Herodotus was describing a place he likely never saw, repeating rumors about a people the Greeks loved to call decadent. The temple women he assumed were prostitutes were often priestesses of high status. Some owned property. Some were forbidden from having children, not required to sell themselves. The words were mistranslated, then moralized, then frozen into a scandal. Sex work as a paid trade is real and ancient too, but it belongs to the age of cities, not the dawn of our species. In Athens, around 594 BCE, a lawmaker named Solon set up brothels run by the city and taxed them, not a sacred right, a revenue stream. In the ruins of Pompeii, archaeologists found a brothel with registered workers taxed like any other business. Paperwork, not prophecy. But there's one last twist. The instinct underneath the joke runs deeper than any job. In the 1990s, a researcher named Fiona Hunter watched female Adelie penguins mate with males who guarded good piles of stones, then walk away carrying one. A resource traded for sex in a bird that never read a word of Kipling. So, maybe the joke was never about history at all. Maybe it points at something older than any profession, the ancient arithmetic of need and exchange, buried so deep it surfaces in penguins and in you. But that isn't a profession. That's just biology wearing a punchline. So the next time you hear it, you'll know the truth. It isn't the oldest. It isn't even close. The first job was a pair of hands shaping a stone, or a healer chewing a bitter root, or a woman kneeling in the dark to help another woman give birth. The phrase was written in 1888. The story it tells is a myth. You've heard the phrase before. Now you know it was never true.